Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks, part 5 of this, and I guarantee the last one of this series. I stated in part 4 that you could probably draw this snowflake easier than you could fix it. So we're just going to have it as an example here. And I am going to kind of mimic this one and just kind of give you some ideas on how I would do something. I'm going to take a polygon tool, and I'm going to hit P, put it in the center of the page, which is really important. And then I'm going to take that and I am going to, there's a bunch of ways you could do this, but I want this thing right now to be 2 inches. And I want the next one to be, I'm going to control D, I'm going to make it 1.5. You only have to change one. I didn't make a duplicate. So here's, and now we've got a 2 inch. So we have a 1/4 inch gap right here between the two because we made it a 1/2 inch bigger. Now what's going to neat about this is we can use some 1/4 inch bars, and right here is your thickness, so we're going to go 0.25, and I'm going to hit P and sit that in the center of the page, and then I'm going to move it up. And I'm just going to start moving it and hold down my control button and get it about there. That might be a little bit much, but we're going to go with it. Now, one of the easiest ways we could do it is draw a rectangle. And let's make it 1.5. Control D and make a duplicate and make the next one 1. And then we're going to turn it on its side at 45-degree angle. And we kind of have that shape. Now, I want these to be basically kind of square like this is, or at a kind of what of an angle, but see how they're going up. So I'm going to take a 2-point line, and there's probably 10 or 15 ways you could do this, but I'm going to do this right here. I'm going to take that, I'm going to nudge it. I'm going to make a duplicate of it. I'm going to put it over here. The height doesn't really matter right now. I'm going to set my nudge factor on 1/4 inch, and I'm going to move that in about there, about there, and then I'm going to move this in. This way they'll be equal, and I can take now my Smart Fill tool and fill in that void, and I've got that shape. Now I can move it over, and I can left click, right click, and I am going to hit P and put it in the center of the page. And then holding down the control button, I'm going to move it up. I'm going to control D. I'm going to move it up again. And I could actually have 3. Let's do one more. And that's pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is select these 3 items and weld them. And I've got that right there. Now, because we're working in the center of the page, I can grab this now, and with my new hotkey, which is Alternate C, which put the rotation in the center. And if you're not real good at math, you can go over and go, well, it's 30 degrees. So rotate it 30 degrees. I didn't make a duplicate, so let's go back. So Control D and make a duplicate and rotate it 30 degrees. You know what? It's not going to work on that side. So what we can do, if something like that doesn't work, let's just make this a little bit smaller. Let's just bring it in. We're still going to hit P, put it in the center of the page. And then we're going to hold down the control button until it's there. We're going to Control D and make a duplicate. We're going to, if I don't use my center graphic, it should center my center macro. Now let's Control D and make a duplicate and rotate it 30 degrees. Well, I put 300. 30 degrees. Yeah, they're almost still too touching. Control D, Control D, Control. We're going to have a lot more. I should have really done them at maybe at a 45-degree angle, but that'll work, and you can make it your own. Now what we're going to do is select everything, and we're going to weld that. And that's what you're going to get, with the exception it took away my line. So I'm going to take this one. I'm going to put my nudge factor is on 1/4 inch. That's good enough because we can always move it, and now weld this. And see, you get that, and then you could bring this back or hit P, put it in the center of the page. And then if you'll take your Smart Fill tool and fill that in, there is your new And it looks more like feathers than an icicle because I put too many, but it is pretty cool. And at this time, it is not an outline, it's a fill. We don't want it very big. We want it only like 2 inches. So it doesn't, if it was a line, you'd have to make it the lines, can't think right now, but since it's just a fill, it'll do that. Let's back up here and see what it would look like at just a 45 degree. I can hit P and put that in the center of the page, and we can delete these. Well, we'll keep that one. And of course, we could have gone with something other than a 6-sided polygon too, or even just a circle. So let's Control D and duplicate that. I'm going to use my hotkey, which is Alternate C, and let's rotate this 45 degrees. It didn't going to really work on this 6-sided polygon, but it still looks cool. Now we're going to do the same thing, except for I'm going to change my nudge factor to like 3 inches. And I'm going to nudge that center one out of the way. That's what causes this. No, I hit the wrong one. I need to get it back. Well, here, let's move this one out of the way. And I'm going to hit P, put that in the center of the page. And now if I weld this, it's going to be perfect. Now I can move this back. I think this is going to be a lot better. Even though it's a 6-sided polygon, it's still a pretty nice snowflake. Anyway, and there's several, let's just keep playing. If you want to stop watching, just stop watching. I'm not going to hurt my feelings. I like showing this off, so we're going to go before it was welded. Let's delete that. Let's delete that. And because we're working in the center of the page, we're going to just take an ellipse, and we're going to hit P, and then Control D to make a duplicate and move it down. Whoop. Get the pick tool. Holding down the shift key so it'll grow from the inside out. And now let's move that interior circle out of the way. I hit the wrong button, not looking. So you could make multiple snowflakes with the same one. And this could go a little bit bigger, so I'm going to hold down the shift key and make it a little bit bigger. Smart Fill tool. And you've got a whole different look. I mean, I love this. You could actually let's take a star. We want a 6-sided star at first, and then I'm going to hit P, put it in the center of the page. I'm going to reduce it in size, and a 6-sided wouldn't hurt, but let's make it a 5-sided. So I'm just going to bring it in, and then I'm going to turn this into a 5-sided star. As long as my pieces are touching. We've already welded this exterior part. Let's make our nudge factor like 5 inches. Let's move this out of the way. And now let's weld this. Well, that's just the opposite of what I wanted. Let's go here and go back minus front. That's exactly what I wanted. Move that back. Now look at your icicle, your snowflake. Total different. Now, in this case, it would have to hang from that part, but the possibilities are endless when you're doing something like this. Anyway, I hope that helps somebody, and thank you for watching.